Hey everyone, it's Ken with Ken's Creations. Well, I know everyone is excited about the Print Then Cut release. It's amazing. However, I don't want to lose sight of another exciting feature that came out with this release, and I am talking about the Slice feature. The Slice feature opens up so many design capabilities for people. It is absolutely amazing, and I want to show you how to use it. Before I show you how to use it, there's a couple things you have to keep in mind with the Slice feature. The Slice feature works when things are, number one, ungrouped. They have to be ungrouped, and it only works with 2 layers. So you can't try to slice something that has 4 layers or 6 layers. It can only work with 2 layers. And the reason why is, think of the slice as a cookie cutter. You have your dough, which is the bottom layer, and then you have your cookie cutter, which is the top layer. And you're pushing your cookie cutter through your dough to make a cutout. That's why it can only work with 2 layers. So if you're trying to slice something and it has 2 layers, it will work. If you're trying to slice something that has 3, 4, 5 layers, it's not going to work. Okay, so keep that in mind. So what does the slice do? Well, it just does exactly that. It's going to slice through. So you have your bottom layer and you have your top layer here. So whatever is on your top layer, it's going to slice through your bottom layer. Or like I like to say, it's going to put a cookie cutter through it. So here is our top layer, which is the heart. The bottom layer is our box. We can now draw a box around it because both items are ungrouped and they're only 1 and 2 layers. We only have 2 layers. Because of that, our slice feature is coming up. I can hit slice now. It's going to change the same color as my bottom layer. That lets you know the slice worked. I can move that heart out of the way and look at that. It's sliced through the bottom layer. We have a perfect cutout here. And it still gave us our cutter back, or cookie cutter here, so we still have that. But we have a perfect cutout. So we've created our own, in a way, die cut. We've created a punch out. However you want to call it, we've sliced through that bottom layer. Now, this opens all sorts of design capabilities. You can move this heart off to the corner. And if you don't want to draw a box around it, you can absolutely just hit your Shift key and select each item and hit slice. And once again, it's going to change the color. Now in this case, because I have it overlapping here, as you can see, it's going to slice any part where there was an intersection. So right here and right here. Now when I move this heart, it's going to move in pieces. So I have that piece, I have this piece, and then I have my base piece. So there's that base piece, so the dough, and here is the cookie cutter. So what's cool is this still is grouped together, and then I could punch this out. I could actually put this on a car and raise this up with pop dots, and how cool would that look? Absolutely amazing. Now, what I'm really excited about on this is the fact that we can incorporate text into this. So here is this box, and let's say you want to use this thanks. And you want to create a card using this thanks, but you don't want to use paper. You want to actually punch it through the paper. The slice works great. Now in this case, let me show you what I'm talking about with making sure you're only using 2 layers. If I was to use this, and I'm thinking, well, I want to use this thanks, and I move it over here, and I draw my box around it, and I go to slice, and I say, well, slice isn't a feature. What's going on? Why isn't slice working? This is stupid. I hate this. Why isn't slice working? Design space is broken. It's not broken. What's going on is, remember, slice only works with 2 layers. So you need to take your thanks, you need to ungroup it, and get rid of everything but your base layer, which is the thanks. So now we can move that thanks back on here, right about there. Now I can include both layers and oh, look there's my slice option because I'm only working with the 2 layers. Hit the slice. Look at that, it turned pink and oh, I love it. It's amazing. We can create our own punch outs. I absolutely love the slice feature, you guys. It gives so much capabilities that we didn't have before. So that's how you can take any phrase in the Cricut library or even your own phrases and use them into shapes now and punch it out. So I wanted to show you a couple other things using Cricut images. Let's get rid of these things here. So let's start with this gingerbread man. So once again, you got to think of layers. All of Cricut images come in grouped. So I couldn't do any slicing here. So I have to ungroup it. And let's say I don't want to use his bow and buttons as a paper. I want to see through to the bottom of him. So right now, obviously, if I move this out, it would show his brown. But let's say I wanted to punch this out to see below him. I could do that. I'm just going to move those to line up perfectly where those are. I'm going to hit Shift, red layer, Shift, brown layer, and slice. That red's going to turn brown, and look at that. Now it punched through, and now if I move that brown layer out, you can see it's punched through just like the rest of the other parts. So remember, it only works with 2 layers, so whatever layers you choose, either by hitting the Shift key, which is the best way I found it, it's going to work. So once again, I'll show you how that worked. So I ungrouped it. So ungroup, figure out the layers I want to punch through. So in this case, I want to use the red part as my actual cookie cutter. So that's my top layer. I'm going to hit Shift, which is my brown layer. So I'm going to select my brown layer and just hit Slice. It couldn't be easier, guys. And look there it is. Perfect. All right. I wanted to show you though on this kind of image how sometimes it's not going to work to your desired benefit and you might have to tweak it. So here's a butterfly and I was thinking I wanted to cut through to these hearts because I thought, oh, how cool would it be if I saw through to the hearts? Well, you might have to work with it to try to get it to work because if I move this out of the way, since it's a cookie cutter, watch what happens. It's going to cut through. So keep in mind when you're working with this, it's looking at this whole thing as the cutter. So it's going to slice through everything. You can't just pick and choose certain parts to slice. So I can't just pick this heart to slice through. So if I hit slice, as you can see, it slices through everything. And now I have this kind of shape here that wouldn't be useful to me. So if I wanted to just slice through to the hearts, I would have to find hearts to work in that size and slice through them. So just keep in mind the slice is it's literally like a cookie cutter. So whatever your top layer is, it's going to cut through to the bottom layer. All right, so I hope that helps you on the slice feature. I am so excited about the slice feature. It's going to open up so much possibilities. You know, you can customize things. So let me show you what I mean there. So I have a square here, and I was thinking about making thank you cards for when people buy product off my site. And I can actually go like this. Let me get rid of that bottom layer here. I'm going to ungroup this. I'm going to add a text. So let's do Ken's Kreations. I'm going to shrink that down. Put that at the bottom, right about there. Shift to the bottom layer, slice. Look at that. That is so cool. I absolutely love it. So as you can see, you can make your own custom punch outs on anything. So it is the first step for Cricut Design Space in giving us capabilities of giving us design control over their program. So I absolutely love the slice feature. It's a step in the right direction, and it gives me the indication that more design features are coming to Design Space. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it cleared up how slice works. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.